Hello, I'm Christine, and I went to see the Paper Towns last night. Okay. Paper Towns is written by John Green, and it's a book about Q and Margot, who are childhood best friends, and then eventually when they enter high school, they drift apart like every childhood friend pairing until near the end of graduation, where Margot takes Q off on this amazing journey. And then that's where Q falls in love with Margot again, but then she ends up missing, and so now it's up to Q to find her. I never really liked Paper Towns while I was reading the book. Like, I guess I would say that it's not my favorite John Green book. The only reason that it would stand out for me at all was for the ending, which you'll know when you read it or watch it. Like, the character traits were really good, but they weren't really fully developed, and the whole story after Margot leaves is just kind of bland. Like, yeah, there are amazing characters that have been built up, but really nothing significant happens. If anything, I only really like the ending and the beginning, because Margot spoke to me in ways that some characters just haven't in a while. Like, for me, Margot was probably the best character of all, because she just really spoke out to me about how you should care for things and being done with people who don't really care about much stuff other than superficial things, and as well as going out of your comfort zone and living your life. Yeah, definitely after Margot goes missing or runs away, the whole story is kind of just bland, and the story just relies on the characters' traits to keep the movie progressing. Like, definitely while the group was trying to find Margot and where she was, the only parts I was really engaged in were the funny, humorous parts, like especially Ben's parts, and nothing else was really, I felt nothing else was really happening. Like, Q never develops until the end of the story, and like, you can't help that because he learns his lesson at the end of the story about how people are people and you can't think of them as anything else. And I wish there was a way that that could have been expressed more easily so that you could see his growth throughout the movie. And instead, I don't see what else you can do. It was just basically blah 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 blah, and then it skyrocketed. There wasn't much here as opposed to here. And here was practically the last 10 minutes of the movie. The only thing that was happening throughout everything else was laughing at the characters and having a good time. But otherwise, for that, the movie was, I feel like, a much better adaptation for the book than I expected it to be, especially because I didn't really, there were some weird parts about the ending in the book, like how Margot made a whole story about her and Q and the dog, and I was just like, that's a little from left field. What? I don't get what's happening. There's just a lot of awkward formalities when adapting the book into a movie. Like, they never really address that Radar's name is just his nickname, and when Jazz's character, Radar's girlfriend, calls him Marcus for the first time, the audience was like, what? I don't get what that is. Isn't his name Radar? What's the deal? And I knew it because I read the book, but I don't think they ever fully addressed that his name was Marcus, not Radar. I don't know, it's just a lot of awkward stuff like that. Like, I just wish they would go through more of the metaphors in the book, like when Q reads Leaves of Green and he thinks about people being vessels, or being strings, or people being all connected like leaves, and that we all have roots, or that we're all mirrors of each other. That was what made the book more interesting before the climax, I guess. Like, from a movie standpoint, I see why you wouldn't want to include that, because it might disrupt the flow of the movie, because it's kind of like this fun coming of age youth, ha 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 movie. Plus, it would just be all internal dialogue, I guess, and that's why they chose to just cut it off. But that's what I really enjoyed about the book, man. But one other thing I really liked that the movie producers did was develop the girls, Lacey and Angela, more. I don't think we really saw that much in the book. Also, it's been a while since I read the book, so I don't think I'm that accurate of a source. But in the book, I feel like we only developed a lot of Q, and we didn't see that much development of Lacey. I don't know, the bathtub scene in the book versus the movie, the book didn't really affect me as much as the movie. But also, it's kind of been a few years, so... And Angela's character got a lot of screenplay compared to the books. Like, we didn't even... What we knew of Angela, we knew because of Radar. So I'm glad that they actually included her on the road trip, and that it showed a really honest, true relationship between her and Radar. Like, their relationship is what you should aim for, and not Q and Margot's. But in the end, it showed a really great example of how teenage relationships, or any relationship, should be in general, and they have to be honest. Yeah, okay. So in general, I just liked all the girls. The movie made all the girls stand out more. Yeah. I was watching the movie with my sister, she also read the book, and I could tell it wasn't really impacting her as much either. Like, the only part she really liked was Ansel Elgort's cameo in the gas station. And that was all she could talk about at the end. So that says a lot about the movie. Like, Paper Towns isn't in my top 10 movies, for obvious reasons. But I'd still watch it again. I don't know. The message is still really good, even if the message is in the last 10 minutes. I'm Christine. Have a good day. Bye.